Why you do this? Understand yourself. You did not fall in love with them. You fell in love with the feeling, the rush, the unpredictability, the almost losing them, the almost getting them, the way your chest tightened when they pulled away, the way your whole body lit up when they came back. That spike in your nervous system felt like connection. It felt meaningful. It felt real. But what if what you call love is actually activation? Because calm does not move you the same way. Calm does not hijack your thoughts. Calm does not keep you checking your phone. Calm does not make your stomach drop. And somewhere deep inside, calm even feels suspicious. It feels unfamiliar. It feels like something is missing. So you lean toward intensity. Not because you are dramatic, but because your body recognizes it. And if you stay until the end of this, you'll understand why your reactions make you far more intuitive, and how to finally break this cycle. You say you want stability. You say you want someone safe. You say you are tired of chaos. But when someone consistent shows up, something inside you goes quiet. Not peaceful, just quiet. There is no spike, no adrenaline, no emotional swing. And without that swing, you question the connection. You start to wonder if you are bored. You start to wonder if something is wrong. You start to analyze what is missing. You compare it to the last person who made you feel everything at once. And slowly, you confuse nervous system activation with chemistry. You confuse unpredictability with depth. You confuse emotional volatility with passion. And it feels convincing. Here's what is actually happening. Your nervous system learned love in an environment where it was not steady. Maybe affection came with mood shifts. Maybe closeness came with criticism. Maybe warmth came with withdrawal. So your body adapted. It learned that connection arrives in spikes. When love is inconsistent, the brain releases stronger reward chemicals during reconciliation. The relief feels euphoric. The return feels powerful. The unpredictability strengthens the bond. This is not weakness. It is conditioning. Your system wired intensity and attachment together. And now calm feels like absence, instead of safety. The trigger is not the person. The trigger is the pattern. When someone becomes slightly distant, your body reacts before your mind does. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts race. You feel urgency. You feel the need to fix it, to restore it, to get the connection back. That urgency feels like love. It feels like caring deeply. It feels like passion, but it is actually fear mixed with attachment. Fear of losing the bond. Fear of being dropped. Fear of not being chosen. And fear is a powerful amplifier. It makes everything feel bigger than it is. Your nervous system does not understand romance. It understands survival. If connection once felt uncertain, your system stays alert inside intimacy. It scans for shifts. It monitors tone changes. It reacts to small delays. Not because you are insecure, but because your body remembers unpredictability as threat. When the signal of distance appears, stress hormones rise. Your heart rate increases. Your focus narrows. You think about them constantly. That obsessive loop feels like longing. But biologically, it is activation. It is your system trying to re-establish safety. And the intensity of that activation can be mistaken for love. This is why you can feel completely consumed by someone who gives you very little. The less stable they are, the more your system works. The more your system works, the more intense it feels. And the more intense it feels, the more meaningful you assume it is. It becomes self-reinforcing. You interpret emotional exhaustion as depth. You interpret anxiety as chemistry. You interpret relief as romance. Your logic bends around the feeling. Because intensity is loud, calm is quiet, and the nervous system always prioritizes what is loud. So you stay where it spikes. Somewhere earlier in your life, intensity and attachment were paired together. It may not have been dramatic. It may have been subtle. A parent who was loving but unpredictable. A caregiver who was present but emotionally inconsistent. Attention that had to be earned. And here's the part most people never realize. Children who grow up tracking emotional shifts become hyper-attuned. They develop sharp intuition. They sense tone, energy, micro changes that others completely miss. It's not neediness, it's intelligence, your system built to keep you safe. Your body learned to track changes carefully. It learned that closeness could disappear. It learned that staying alert increased your chances of maintaining connection. So now, when someone is inconsistent, it feels familiar. And familiarity feels safe, even when it hurts. Over time, this pattern becomes part of your identity. You start believing you are just someone who loves deeply, someone who feels intensely, someone who cannot do casual. And there is truth in that. You do feel deeply. But depth and dysregulation are not the same thing. If love feels calm, you question it. If love feels steady, you doubt it. If love feels simple, you assume it lacks passion. Because your identity got built around emotional peaks, around fighting for closeness, around earning reassurance, and that identity feels real. Breaking this pattern does not mean shutting down your emotions. It means learning to differentiate activation from connection. Activation is urgent, connection is steady. Activation is loud, connection is consistent. Activation spikes and crashes, connection builds and holds. At first, steady love may feel underwhelming. Your system might search for drama. It might even try to create it, not because you want chaos, but because your body is used to fluctuation. Stability can feel unfamiliar before it feels safe. What if the butterflies are not a green flag? What if the anxiety is not chemistry? What if the obsession is not romance? What if the calm presence that does not hijack your nervous system is actually the healthier bond? That idea can feel almost offensive at first, because it challenges everything you associated with passion. It asks you to trust something that does not overwhelm you. It asks you to stay when it feels quiet. It asks you to let your system settle instead of spike, and that requires tolerance for calm. When you start choosing steadiness, something strange happens. The first phase feels less intoxicating. There are fewer dramatic highs, fewer crushing lows, more predictability, more clarity, and your body may initially interpret that as lack of depth. But over time, your baseline shifts. Your nervous system stops bracing. Your thoughts stop looping. You experience presence instead of panic. You experience warmth without withdrawal. And slowly, intensity loses its grip as the definition of love. Relief does not look cinematic. It looks ordinary. It looks like not checking your phone every minute. It looks like sleeping through the night. It looks like not analyzing every message. It looks like feeling secure without constant reassurance. That kind of relief can feel almost unfamiliar, almost empty, because you are not used to quiet stability. But in that quiet, your body finally rests. And rest is something intensity never gave you. You do not have to erase your depth to build healthy love. You do not have to become less emotional. You do not have to lower your capacity to feel. You only need to separate fear from attachment. You only need to notice when urgency is actually anxiety. Integration means allowing yourself to feel without letting activation define the bond. It means recognizing when your system is flaring up. It means pausing instead of reacting. And over time, that pause rewires the association between intensity and love. You are not broken for craving intensity. Your system adapted intelligently. It did what it had to do to survive uncertainty. But survival patterns are not destiny. They can be updated, they can be softened, they can be reinterpreted. When you understand your conditioning, you regain choice. You can choose the person who is steady even if your body initially protests. You can stay long enough for calm to feel safe. And you can redefine passion as presence, instead of panic. The deepest love will not feel like chaos. It will not feel like constant doubt. It will not feel like chasing. It will feel grounded. It will feel mutual. It will feel safe enough for your nervous system to exhale. And that exhale might be the most unfamiliar sensation of all. Because you are not bracing for loss. You are not fighting for reassurance. You are not addicted to the spike. You are simply there, and that quiet steadiness is powerful. And breaking this pattern begins with one small practice. When the urge to chase intensity rises, pause for 5 seconds and ask, is this longing, or is this activation? That micro pause is how rewiring starts. Repetition builds the rest. If intensity has always been your definition of love, this realization can feel disorienting. It might shake old stories. It might stir grief. It might even make you question the people you once chased. But that discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that something is shifting. And the fact that you stayed until this moment shows something rare. You're not chasing the spike anymore. You're noticing it. You're seeing the pattern instead of becoming it. Here's the first micro shift that actually begins to break the cycle. When your heart races, don't ask, why do I want them so much? Ask instead, what part of me is being activated right now, and what does it think I need to feel safe? That question pulls the power out of the spike. It separates fear from attachment. It teaches your nervous system that intensity is not the only way to feel alive. So now the real question is, what's one tiny shift you can make the next time intensity feels like love? Your answer might help someone else too.